Hello SEO for Startups, and welcome to this week's Ask Me Anything video.
Bit of deja vu going on here.
Full
disclosure, we've already filmed this video once and something kind of happened, I don't know what, to the format of the video when we tried to upload it. So here's take two. So if we don't seem as enthusiastic as before, because we've already run through this once.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day. It's SEO Groundhog Day, absolutely. Awesome. Alright, let's do this. Let's make it really, really good.
Yes. So we're going to do an Ask Me Anything again. Seventh one, which is awesome. Yep. Technically eighth, but yeah. So we've got 4 questions that you guys supplied. Keep firing over the questions into the spreadsheet, and we
will link to it below in the comments.
And yeah, so let's get started.
Okay, so the first question was from Lance. What should the ideal silo structure be for a 10-page plus website, Kieran?
So, silo structure is essentially the act of dividing your website's content into different categories and subcategories. Mm-hmm. It's really good from an SEO point of view, and kind of really good for Google to help them understand what your website's talking about and what these categories and subcategories are talking about. So essentially your main kind of category as such, and now I use the term category, I don't mean just for e-commerce websites, it can be for the websites as well.
Like an entity, right?
Exactly, yeah. So from an example from an SEO point of view, we can have our main category, which is SEO, and then our subcategories, or within the silo, would be backlinks, content, on-site, off-site, so on and so
related.
Forth. So yeah, keeping related content together, and having kind of like your umbrella term that covers all of that at the very top of that point, top of the category sort of thing. So yeah, from an SEO point of view, it's great. It helps Google understand the content of the website, and it helps Google kind of see that your website, it's not just talking about that one specific keyword, it's talking about the topic as a whole, which is great. A note with Silo, it's not just the categories on the website, it's also the URL structure. So if you're looking at, say for example, your backlinks page within SEO, the categories on the website will be SEO as your main category, and then backlinks would be one of your subcategories, but the URL needs to match this as well. So it'd be /SEO/backlinks, or whatever it is for your example. So yeah, really good for SEO. There isn't anything specific for this because a 10-page plus website, it might not need silo structure.
If they're all different
topics. So only really if they're kind of, the topics are all really similar and there's enough pages. I wouldn't have like one single silo on the website because it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough from that specific question itself, but as a whole, silo structure is really good for a website.
Cool, that's good.
Right, so question number 2. This is from Anthony, and apologies if I've said that wrong. If you wanted to rank on page 1 for a specific keyword or topic in 90 days and get more traffic to your site, what steps would you take to make sure that happens?
So yeah, this is one of those can you rank me in X amount of time questions. So the first question is, can this even be done? So how Google works, right? It doesn't want to just rank any website. It has certain conditions that you need to meet in order to rank at the top of Google. And one of those really is around trust. And Google builds trust from you, or trust in you, let's say, over time. So it's just not possible to get right to the top of the search results within like a month or a few weeks, because Google doesn't know enough about your domain, doesn't know enough about your website, especially if you're brand new. You know, you can pay for that, you can use paid ads, but if you want to do SEO, it's going to take time because Google needs to build up that trust in you. But there are, I guess it depends, right? I mean, some people can rank because it all depends on a number of variables. So the first one being like, where do you rank right now? So it could be that Anthony's website's on the top of page 2. He just needs to jump onto page 1. So that's possible. You know, in 3 months you could absolutely do that in a much shorter amount of time. What's the SEO strength of the website? So have you got a very, very strong SEO website? Because if you do, then you're going to have a much better chance of jumping. So one example would be the bbc.com, for example, bbc.co.uk. If they wanted to rank for SEO news, then they could just create a page and they've got a much better chance of getting onto page 1 in a lot quicker time than we would if we wanted to try and rank for political affairs or Brexit. Right? So they've got a very strong website. Another factor to take into consideration is the competition. So if you're trying to rank on page 1, who's on page 1 at the moment? Are you going to be up against BBC, Facebook, Amazon, you know, these really big websites? Or are you going to be up against, you know, small little websites that haven't got much strength themselves? Therefore, it's a much more higher chance. So it really depends on the keyword, your website. There's too many variables, but if you were looking to focus on a particular keyword, and don't focus too much on one, because if you spam a keyword too much, it will look too obvious to Google. You know, you want a very rounded keyword strategy. But if there was one keyword that's very important to you, things that we'd look at, the foundation, so on-site SEO. Have you optimized that keyword on that page and on that website correctly? Look at your competitors. How much copy have they written? You know, is it an informational-based query where all the people on page 1 have written like 2,000 words, and then you're going to have to do the same, if not more? Or is it, you know, very transactional? It's very short. So look at the competition, see what they're doing. Get your on-site tip-top. Backlinks as well. So they're obviously going to contribute. So look at your competitors' backlinks. Who's on page 1? Where have they got their backlinks from? You know, specifically, can you utilize that to get backlinks from those websites as well? Or even more importantly, if you can see that 2 or more of the competitors have got a backlink from the same place, then that's a really good opportunity for you to go, right, I'm going to get a backlink from there. So use tools like Hike. I mean, Hike can do that for you. There are other backlink tools like Majestic and such, but do have a look at that. But again, Google might not see that backlink within those 3 months. So it's a yes or no answer, but that's what I'd look into.
It's a great answer.
Thank you. Yes, no, great answer. Okay, so the third question for Kieran is from Matt. So he posted this on the Facebook group as well, right?
Yes, he did, yeah.
So his question was, does it matter if you host your blog on a subdomain or a subfolder, Kieran?
Awesome. So, it's a very common question for us guys.
Yeah.
It tends to be the one that most people ask, and within reason, to be fair. It's a reason for it. So, essentially, in short, you're going to perform better if you have your blog hosted on a subfolder of your website.
Yeah.
Now, Google sees your website as a subdomain and website as a subfolder as 2 totally separate things. So if you've got blog.website.co.uk and website.co.uk, they're seen as 2 separate websites in Google's eyes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
They're two separate entities. So the work that you do on blog.website.co.uk won't directly impact the work that you're doing on your current website.
Yeah.
And the only way that you're going to be able to pass authority and pass authority essentially over from one to the other is by linking to them. So with backlinks internally on both websites and passing that authority against both. The issue you've got is that if you're doing all of this work on, like, in terms of new content, in terms of on-site optimization, you want it to affect both websites at the same time. You don't really want to lose that in between the two.
They support each other really
well.
They do,
really well. So, try and get it onto a subfolder. We know that it's not always possible, and sometimes there's a lot of kind of tech resource that needs to go into actually getting that moved across if you've already got it set up. If you've not, there's tech resource that needs to go into actually getting it set up initially. Mm-hmm. One thing that Matt did post on the actual group itself was a link to a tweet that was put out by Drift's head of marketing. Now, Drift's a live chat platform, and they're really quite big as well. They've just moved from a subdomain over to a subfolder, and they've seen a 20% increase in organic traffic since moving over.
Awesome.
They've also took over a bunch of featured snippets as well, which is essentially you ranking right at the very, very top before any results show. So
it's an easy win, isn't it? It's a really easy win.
It really is. So make sure that you kind of get it moved over into a subfolder if you can. Just a note, blogs on like Medium and other kind of like HubSpot as well, if they're not using your domain at all, so some people we can see have kind of like subdomain.medium.com as their blog, that won't be passing any authority really over. It's just like a link and guest posting. So try and get it on your domain as a subfolder if you can. If you can't, try and kind of just make sure you're linking correctly between the two.
Yeah, so like for example, some people have their blog on HubSpot, and HubSpot will only put a blog on a subdomain, so you'd have to have blog dot, which obviously has got its benefits, because if you're using HubSpot as a CRM for other bits of communication to clients, then that's beneficial, but really you're not getting that SEO benefit. And until HubSpot can find a way to place your blog on /blog, they're going to be losing out on SEO traffic for you. So do bear that in mind.
Awesome.
All right.
Last question. What is one of the biggest mistakes people make with SEO?
Okay, so there's loads of big mistakes that we make all the time. Kieran makes loads, don't you, Kieran?
That wasn't the funny the first time around as well.
It was, it still is, it always will be. There's mistakes for, I suppose, if you were talking about SEO mistakes that SEO experts make, there's loads of those, but I'll focus more on one that startups and small businesses, so beginners in SEO make. And the one that I've mentioned it a few times on the channel, especially since last year, is keyword cannibalization. And I think the reason that people make this mistake is because it's not really an intuitive. It's a part of SEO that isn't intuitive. So a lot of small business owners, when they start their website, they've got like one keyword. They're like, right, this is what I'm all about. You know, we're all about SEO software, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is on every page on our website, I'm going to tell Google that we're about SEO software. So I'm going to put it in all my metadata, all my page titles, all my copy. I'm just going to put SEO software everywhere. Because then Google's going to know that I can rank, right? Does it work like that? No. That's right. So what happens then is it actually has the reverse effect. So Google, when someone searches SEO software, it looks at Hike and it goes, right, okay, so these guys are SEO software. What page should I put at the top of the rankings? And it goes, oh, I haven't got one page, I've got like 15 pages. And what it does is it doesn't pick any of those, it just goes, oh, I'm just going to dilute the authority that our website has for that keyword over those 15 pages, and I'm just not going to rank. Because Google's going to be confused and it's just going to push me down. So, not push me down, but none of the pages are going to jump up that high because there's not one specific page that's got all of that specific to SEO software.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a look through your website. If you've got some keywords, make sure you're only optimizing them on one page each. You know, don't use the same keyword across multiple pages because it's not going to help your SEO. And you know, we've seen a lot of good results actually. You know, over the years in SEO.
Yeah, definitely so.
You reduce keyword cannibalization, and you can see your rankings jump up. So you might rank within 90 days.
You never know. That's a good way to start, and it's a great way to kind of link it all back in together.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a cohesive story. Cool.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah, so
fingers crossed this recorded.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, we'll be potentially back next week. We should have some form of video for you next week at least.
Something.
And then, yeah, by all means, chuck as many questions as you can into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're always looking to answer more. And any comments or anything that you've got on the video, drop them in the box below.
Awesome.
Wicked. Cheers, guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.